trim expenses, accelerate revenues. The closer the compensation is to the actual act which justifies it, the higher the motivation, the greater the impact. You can puff up the hog, we know that. We know the clean house, literally, figuratively. Tidy up your office and premises. Small images make big impact. When walking a buyer around, also tighten up, start contracts, renew suppliers. Are they loyal? How about trademarks, settle pending lawsuits? We know all that. Be aware that any good due diligence will uncover you're covering up the bad shit. Approach all the people you know. And this is where the big four accounting firms and the big law firms are paramount. You may never get to an IPO, and they'll just shove you right into, in a good way, to an industry giant that will buy you because they know what strategically they're looking for. You don't. It's not in the trade journals. You may get 50 or 100% more than you thought you were going to get. And that's why paying that 30 to 50% more to the lawyers and accountants for all those years pays off with one deal. Instead of you cheating and trying to save money and pennies and buying whole half milk instead of whole milk. And I know you, I can tell. And remember, dirty motels, how do you keep track? Count the sheets. Okay, next go to your accountants, the lawyers. I just said all that. We don't need that. Plan early. It takes about a year. It does. Sell your business, take it public or franchise it. We didn't talk about franchising, but that's also a way to get out. What is your business worth? Okay, wrong answer, what the owner thinks he should get. Second wrong answer, the amount of money the owner thinks he needs to retire. This is what the people are going to be basing their sales price on. Which is not any way evaluation. They've worked 45 years behind, in the ovens, digging ditches, cleaning toilets, and they're trying to get rich off one deal. Not. What is your business worth? Correct answer, what the current market is willing to pay down to and including nothing. Some of the businesses you're going to look at are not worth fuck all. Remember, they wanted $12 million and they ultimately paid me $9 million. Some of the businesses are such an albatross to them that they will pay to get rid of them. And that's not what a business broker doesn't tell you that. Because when they give you the business or they pay for you to take the business, what does the business broker get? Fuck all. And that's why there is a diametrically different views from the business broker's point of view and the buyer's point of view. And they're irreconcilable, contrary to what they tell you. And a business they give you, providing it's got the basis for you to make a go of it, because you're not getting any money from the banks, so you don't need any debt service. Then, and once in a while that happens. That happens to you kids 3 or 4 times a year. Oh, what is your business worth? Specific answer, 3 to 10 times current annual post-tax profits, depending on the industry, the business, and many other things. In this country, they look at pre-tax profits. In America, they look at post-tax profits. I can't tell you why. I don't know the reason. I stopped trying to figure that out 25 years ago. But we're not looking at either of those. We're looking at free cash flow. Free cash flow. Unencumbered cash flow. Remember, timing, you operate in a cyclical economy and market, just as global warming is cyclical. I'll just put my little punchline in there. Try to sell in an upwave. I tell people, if you're 40 years old and you own a business, and your business cycle is in an up cycle, sell. I don't care what business it is. If you're 40 or over and you're in an up cycle, sell. You may never see an up cycle again. We've had 9 years of bull market. Arguably the longest or second longest bull market in the history of mankind since Moses. The bull market is going to end. And you know how when you flush a toilet, it spins like this and all the turds and toilet paper, everything's going to go down with a tidy bowl man. And for those of you that are waiting to get the top dollar are going to get fucked. And then the QLA guys are going to ride like the 5 horsemen of the apocalypse, cutting your fucking heads off, taking your businesses, taking your children, raping your wife, taking your money. Oh, well, sellers and their representatives invariably present financial projections having more entertainment value than real value. Most of the spreadsheets business brokers give you are not worth the paper to wipe your fucking ass with. Seven, start, buy a business, build, puff it up, sell the business, repeat the process, and you will make tens or even hundreds of millions. There is no other legal way which does not rely upon luck. Even in Nigeria. Start up, cash out, repeat. Start up, cash out, repeat. For the young kids, you can do it 6 or 7 times. Everybody in this room can at least do it 3 or 4 times. Even in Mexico, Pedro. Well, it's a little harder in Mexico, but any serious buyer will undertake their own evaluation of their business. They will not believe your figures. Those are the 7 steps. Repeat the process. And as my 11-year-old daughter said, it is easy peasy. And right now you have more ammo than, except for the kids that come here, than 99.999% of the people on the planet. Summarize, start the business, build it up, sell it, float it, and franchise it. Create wealth in the tens and hundreds. And that's what I want you to be like. I want to see your asses up in the air and snorting that fucking shit up like you did cocaine last week before you got here. You know, so they tell me. And now the people that are, the kids are suing the governments that are making the plastic dollar bills, pound notes, because it cuts their nose. They get infected. They have to cut their nose off and they're suing the government. And they're going to win. They're going to win, YouTube. That's the world we're in today. And if that's not a fucked up scenario, I don't know what is. The only thing more fucked up is your parents had you. I love this job. And unlike you you look like you just came from a funeral, all of you. It's like you've been doing the work instead of me. Any questions? So you know it all, Pedro.
I'll just do what you do.
Thank you. Walter. These are my 2 whipping boys. Walter and Pedro. Guys, it's up to you. It's easy. It's not easy, but it's easier than any other system out there. It just is. And Peter that you heard today, and Joe and Josh and Miguel and Frank. Well, I'd be a liar if I said you're as smart as they are. That's a lie, but kind of pretend like it's the truth. But they're not geniuses. They're not. And you heard Peter say, what did he do before he wrote grants for EU loans? Now, that's not much. How entrepreneurial is that? It isn't. It isn't. Who's my 5 o'clock? 6 o'clock. Okay. Any questions? Pedro? Walter? You can stay, but I won't be talking to you. So now tomorrow I sleep in, although I see some of you tomorrow, but I'll sleep in past 5:30, which is I get up to review things the last few days. So I'm looking forward to sleeping in tomorrow morning. I'll probably sleep until 7 or 7:30. But tonight is Kilt. Guys, wear underwear. That's my sincere request. Let's make it a request. Unless you know how to sit down like a lady, I would wear underwear.
We're trying to go all in.
Huh?
We're trying to go all in.
Okay, well, then there's always one or two that decide to not wear underwear. And they're the ones, there's 4 or 5 chairs in the drawing room that are specially not built by me. It's just when guys sit in them, they don't sit in them like that. You know, like all of you right now are sitting with your legs like this. I rest my case. And we will have some cheap thrills. And
Stress.
What? Stress. The people that have the hardest time are the people. Now, sensitivity equals poverty. I already said that. But if you have sensitivity and you're prone to be stressed out, and those of you that fall into that category know who you are, I'm not going to tell you to pace yourself, because you paced yourself already. And what has it gotten you? Nothing.
Uh-oh.
Nothing. So I'm going to tell you, go until you drop. Everybody, go until you drop. And when you fall forward. Like they used to, in football, fall, get an extra yard. And because your conservative, sensitive lifestyle has got you fuck off. There's no competition out there other than you guys competing against yourselves. There's about 100, 110 of you out there in the world right now from the last year and a half. And there's only about 2,000, 2,500 since this program began, out of 7+ billion people. And some of you probably never have run into a guy or a gal that's a QLA devotee. You probably haven't. And you probably won't for the rest of your life. Occasionally, they cross paths, but it's so infrequent. It's so infrequent. Now, if somebody starts coaching and teaching this shit again, and they're putting it on the internet and webinars, that hasn't happened. And the biggest differentiation is they don't understand that there's only one moving part to a transaction, and that's the sales price. And the sales price from a motivated seller is better than a sales price from a non-motivated seller. And remember, 95% of all businesses that go for sale up year by year don't sell. They don't sell because everybody's trying to sell for more than it's worth, because they're trying to get rich off one transaction. And wealth and generational wealth is built on a series of transactions. It's that simple. And and we've been around now, second generation. Some of the guys, I'm now coaching their kids. Generational wealth, if everything falls into place, like Peter and a couple others, you can do it in 2 or 3 years. That's not the norm. I would be a liar if I told you it was the norm. But the norm is 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years. At the outside, 7 years. And then, of course, we've got some guys that took 10 or 13 years. But the norm is 3 to 5 years. And just think what you've done the last 3 to 5 years and what it got you. Fuck all. All those books you read, fuck all. All those podcasts you listen to, fuck all. All those webinars you listen to, fuck all. Have I left any? What else? What other medium did I leave off? But basically, because the information is being spewed out, is inaccurate. 1, there's no shortage of money. 2, it's not hard to find finance. 3, the world is flush with cash. And 4, if the deal numbers work, anything is financeable. Anything. So most of the deals that the YouTube kids and you have looked at in the past aren't financeable because the numbers don't work. And I've been doing this almost 50 years, and I've yet to find a box that couldn't fit in the goal. But I'm still looking. Because I'm still kissing flaws like my cufflinks, and I'm still turning over rocks. And the concern that I have is when you start doing deals, not if you start, when you start doing deals, you slow down. You slow down. Because everybody in this room, even the oldest person, is young. Even the oldest person is young. I never thought I'd be doing this at my age to say that, but even the oldest person in this room is young. And the majority of the people that are watching on YouTube are young. And I mean, it's just, it's up to you. Okay, kids, YouTube. Thank you, guys.